Hey folks, what's going on? Good to be back with you. Another video showing the flat black round things with the hole in the middle. Good to be back. And before I start, I want to show you something that for me was pretty cool. I went digging out a few days ago, and I went to this store I've been going to as long as I've been to VC. It's called Esoteric Records. It's in Sacramento. And I get along really good with the owner, or the guy that works, well, the owner, yeah, the guy who works there. And we always have music discussions and chit chat about whatever under the moon. And so we started talking about books for some reason, and he told me, well, speaking of books, like, I've been meaning to show you this. And he goes into a pile of books that I guess like someone brought in, and he goes, if you want this, you're welcome to it. And it was a Genesis book, a Genesis pictorial book that came out in 1984. And the guy, of course, you know, shopping at a store for years, and he knows my taste. He knows I'm big time into Genesis and other bands, but mainly Genesis. So he gave me this book free. I mean, how often do you go to the store and they just say, hey, you want this? You can have it. Not that often. So that's why it's cool to like dig in independent record stores. They make their own rules there, and you end up walking out with something that you really love. And I really love the book. There's some great pictures in here. Some great stories written in here too. It's not just all pictures, but the pictures are awesome, as you can see. It's just a Genesis pictorial. The Gabriel years, the Phil Collins years, talks to interviews members of the band, but some really nice pics in here. So I was really taken back that he would give this to me. Yeah, I've been a customer for a long time at his place, but when I got this book, I have to admit, it really made my day. It really made my day when you see, you know, pics like that in the book, and you get to take this home and listen to it. While listening to the records you scored at a store. I mean, it made my day to get to bring this book home. And I remember seeing this when I was in high school. I just didn't have a job yet, so I didn't have the money to buy it. I should have just borrowed it from a brother or something. And then when I finally did have money, I go back to the bookstore and it was gone. This was like 30 years ago. Now here it is. I got it for free 30 years later. So weird how the world works sometimes. But this was cool. So that's why it's cool to go to independent bookstores and get to know the owner. Every now and then they'll surprise you with something really special. So that was cool. All right, here's the vinyl that I scored a few days back, going to Sacramento to visit stores and hang out in the city. The first one up is Peter Gabriel's fourth album. It's just Peter Gabriel's fourth album. In America, I think it was entitled Security, but it's just his fourth album. It's a Japanese pressing, as you can see with the OB. Really clean copy. Really clean copy. I've been trying to score Japanese pressings of some of my favorite artists or records. If I happen to see them out there, they're not god-awful expensive. This one was actually priced pretty reasonably. Here's the insert that it came with. Cool picture of Peter Gabriel and some Japanese writing. Can't read a thing. And I really do. I've always loved this album. I mean, the big hit obviously is Shock the Monkey, but the whole album I think is really good. I really enjoy listening to it. It's on the Charisma label. And my God, it sounds like thunder on the turntable. These Japanese pressings, they really do get it right. And the sound mix is really good on it. And now, of course, I have this in the remastered albums that came out on vinyl last year. It plays at 45 speed. Those sound amazing. They're probably like the best records in my whole collection. Sounding records, I mean, as far as sound quality. But this Japanese pressing can really hold its own against those remastered versions. I mean, it sounds great. And this is a good album. I really love this album. And really glad I found a Japanese pressing of it. like I said, they're hard to come by, these types of pressings. So when you get it, you better score it, because they're not gonna, you don't see them too often. And if you leave it on the shelf, you probably won't see it again. So really glad I scored it. So Peter Gabriel's 4th record. Here's another one that I've never seen before that I'm glad I got. Tony Williams, The Joy of Flying. Now, I've already had this record before, stereo copy, and I love that album. I love this record. But this is a half-speed mastered version of this album. I didn't have to compare it to the stereo copy, because once I started spinning this, it was obvious it was a huge upgrade compared to the old stereo copy I had, or I have had for the last couple of years. This sounds so much better. Sounds great. I mean, and I love this album. I'm not a big jazz fan at all, but there are some jazz albums I do love to listen to. This is definitely one of them, one of my favorites. The Joy of Flying by Tony Williams. Just a really, really good album. Really enjoyable album. I listen to every track, start to finish. I don't just highlight it when I spin this album. I spin the whole thing, every song on both sides. There's the insert that came with the record. It shows photographs of all the players on this album. Even Ronnie Montrose plays guitar on a song on this record. So it's a mixed bag of different musical styles. Makes it really fun to listen to. Just some great players on here. Of course, it has this insert just kind of explaining the half-speed mastering process. I've actually never read this before. I have a couple of these in these half-speed mastering series, and I never read it. I just kind of like look at it and skim it, like, oh, interesting, but I never actually read it. But it's kind of cool to have it with the record. One of these days, I'm actually going to read the damn thing and have a better understanding of how these types of records are made. I just know they sound better. That's all I really need to know. I don't really know. I don't need to know how they actually manufacture it. All I need to know is it sounds better. That's all I need to know. But my God, this sounds great. And this half-speed mastering version of this album just sounds amazing. The music in here blows my mind. The drumming is top-notch. Top-notch drumming on this album. But it's Tony Williams, what do you expect? Seriously love this album. So really glad I scored like an audiophile copy of it. It made my record collection very happy. Alright, next up we have the awesome Robert Cray. The Robert Cray Band. 4 nights of 40 years. A live recording. Originally, I was questioning whether I should pick up this album or not, because my favorite album from Robert Cray is Strong Persuader and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. So I was hoping there'd be some songs included from those albums on this collection. There's only one song from those 2 albums. It's Next Door, Because of Me. And that's a great song. It sounds wonderful on here. The rest are a bunch of songs I never heard of and some blues standards. And I was wondering if I should even get it, but then I remembered one important thing. You could never go wrong with the Robert Cray Band. It doesn't matter what the track listing is, it's going to sound fantastic. You're going to love it once you spin it. And that was the case here. 2 record set. I'll just show you one label because they all look alike anyway. That's what the labels look like for those of you who are interested. Awesome record set. Both records. All the songs on them sound great. I had a great time listening to this. I listened to this album after working one of the most crappiest Mondays at work I've had in a long time. And I came home, popped open a cold drink, and threw this on the turntable, and all was good with the world after that. Album speaks to me and really connects with me. I was really happy that I pulled the trigger on this and brought it home, because this is a very, very enjoyable live recording to listen to. I loved it. Robert Cray is just one of my heroes. The man is awesome, and you can never go wrong with any of his albums. Doesn't matter if you ever heard of any of the songs on the track list or not, just buy it. You'll be happy, and I sure was. This is an awesome live record. Alright, next album, self-titled album from Sheila E, which I guess came out either in the early 90s or late 80s. I really don't remember. Love this album cover. She is just a gorgeous lady. But besides looking hot and sexy, very talented. One of the best drummers and percussionists I've seen and heard. The woman has talent. Genuine musical talent. And this is a good album. I really drew a blank when I look at the track listing. I remember the album cover, but I couldn't remember any songs from this record for some reason. I just drew a blank. It's on the Paisley Park record label. There we are, Paisley Park. Prince's label, as we all know. Side 1's really good on this album. Couple of songs I could do without on side 2, but overall side 2 is pretty good too. Overall, I say it's a good album. I'm glad I have it. I don't regret putting this in my collection one bit. It was an enjoyable listen. The energy was good. Side 1, all the songs I really dug. Sheila E is awesome. That's just all there is to it. And really glad I scored this record from her because I dig this in a big way. Okay, I'm going to show you some 12-inch singles now. So, as you can imagine with me, it's going to get really 80s up in here. And since we were talking about Sheila E, here's her 12-inch single for the song The Belle of St. Mark. I actually have this song on a 45. I'll be honest with you, the only reason I bought this is because I love her picture on this cover. She looks good. Sheila E looks good. What can I say? Just, nice. It has the dance remix version of the song The Belle of St. Mark. And on the B-side, the song Too Sexy. Really cool 12-inch single on Warner Brothers. The extended version of Belle of St. Mark sounds really cool. That is one of my favorite Sheila E songs. Belle of St. Mark. It was a single off of her first album, Glamorous Life. Though a lot of people have forgotten about it because they only remember the song Glamorous Life. And a lot of people skipped over Belle of St. Mark or just don't remember it very well. I still remember from back in the day because I thought it was a great song. So really cool to have the extended version of it on vinyl. From the Smithereens, 12-inch single for the song Only a Memory. A really cool song from this band. They write some really good music, the Smithereens, and unfortunately I've never seen them live before, but I have friends that have seen them live multiple times. They say they're one of the best live bands they've ever seen. They're great fun at the shows. This makes me wish I had seen them. It's on a Capitol label, no biggie there. Great song, absolutely great song. So this rare 12-inch single is a pretty cool find. I'm glad I got it. This is a promo copy, so really cool find for me. And this next 12-inch single, the very classic 80s song. Doesn't get more 80s than this. Mr. Broken Wings. This is the extended version. I believe this is a UK pressing. So extended version of Broken Wings. Loved that song from Mr. I know Mr. has another album besides Welcome to the Real World. I've never heard a song off that other album. I just know the big hits, really, because they were so good. On the B-side, we have Uniform of Youth and Welcome to the Real World. And it's on the RCA label. Kind of black and gray RCA label, which actually looks pretty cool, I think. There it is. Not a bad looking label. The extended version of Broken Wings, really cool. Really cool. I'm going to be listening to this a lot. I love this song so much. One of my favorite 80s songs of all time. All these years later, I still love the song. I never get tired of it. Pure 80s, but hey, it was a good song. It was a catchy song. I like it. Alright. Something from my high school days that I loved then, I still like now, from Ice-T, Colors. Yes, you heard right, Colors. When this movie, it's one that, of course, it's from the movie Colors, excuse me, which starred Sean Penn and Robert Duvall. When the movie came out, the day it came out, it hit my local theater here in Stockton during one of the night showings of the first day of its release. Somebody was shooting at the screen. Needless to say, they had to stop the movie and close the theater for that day so the police can investigate. But that's one of my memories from Colors, the movie. But this is a cool song. This is a cool song. It came out when I was in high school. Might have been 11th grade or something like that. And this was when I was still a fan of rap, believe it or not. In high school, I was a fan of rap because it was all Run DMC and Houdini, Egyptian Lover, LL Cool J, the early albums. So I was a fan of it. It's on the Warner Brothers label. And Ice-T was another one I was a fan of, maybe his first couple of records. I did like it, and then I kind of, probably because all my friends liked it, and girls I was trying to talk to, they all liked this kind of music, and BC Boys and stuff like that. So, this is back when I was listening to rap. I think as I got older and kind of found my own thing, and I wasn't listening to rap, but still like the old songs that I dug so much. Really dug this one. It has way too many versions of Colors. You know, album mix, 7-inch mix, a-cappella, which I don't know why we need, it's just him rapping, and extra beats mix. I only listened to a couple of versions and I thought that's enough. But still a cool song. Always loved it, still do. Real quick one, I'll show this one. It's a promo copy, that's why I got it. Berlin for the song You Don't Know. It has a single version, it has the album version. Really cool. It's a promo copy, so find a lot of promos in this dig. It's on the Geffen label. That's not really that interesting to look at. I do love the song. It is a cool song. I love Terry Nunn's voice on it. She sounds so good on this song. Yeah, the album it's from, but when you find these rare promos, and I don't have it in my collection yet, so I thought I'd just jump on it. Couple of dollars, didn't really burn a hole in my wallet, so what the hell. All right, I'm gonna go through these stacks of 45s. I'll try to blaze through them. And just like the 12-inch singles, it's gonna get real 80s in here, folks. Like Journey, Only the Young, from the movie Vision Quest, as it says on the back of it, as you can see. I've never seen this in a 45, especially with a picture sleeve. Never seen it before. It was such a crazy good find for me. I love the movie, actually, and pretty cool song to boot. On the B-side, we have Sammy Hagar's I'll Fall in Love Again. Great song from Hagar. I didn't know, I forgot it was in this movie, so really cool. It got two good songs on each side, so really dug the song from Journey. Here's another one from Journey for They Still Ride. Again, I did not know there was a 45 for They Still Ride. I didn't even know it was a single. I thought it was an album track. And I love They Still Ride because classic rock radio has not rammed it down my throat like, say, for Open Arms or Faithfully, which they play what seems like 100 times a day. Yes, I love those songs when I first heard them, but after 100 times, you get a little sick of it. They're still good songs, don't get me wrong. It's just classic rock radio just overdoes it, those songs. They overcook them. But They Still Ride, very rare you hear the song on the radio. When you do, it sounds awesome. And I love the picture sleeve to this, so I went and bought it just for the rarity of it. Here's another one I've never seen out there before on a 45. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, You Got Lucky. I still can't believe Tom Petty is gone. I mean, it's been a while, but I still can't believe he's gone. When the news came out that he had passed away officially, I was stunned, absolutely stunned. I just can't believe we now live in a world where Tom Petty is no longer alive. There's a label there. And on the B-side, we have the song Between Two Worlds. Love this song from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, one of my favorites that they did. Great song, You Got Lucky. I was in I was briefly in a Tom Petty cover band, and it was so much fun playing that song. I had a blast playing this song, so there we go. Another person that left us way too soon, Prince. Sign of the Times, 45. Really cool to have found this. Surprisingly, it wasn't that expensive. Absolutely love this song to pieces. One of my favorite Prince songs. I got a lot of favorite Prince songs, but this is definitely one of them. Of course, it's on the Paisley Park label. It is a Prince, so that's still going to be the label. Great song. I remember when I saw Steven Wilson in concert last year. He covered the song during his concert. Did a great job, but you know, nothing's better than the original. So really glad to put this in the Prince 45 collection. So surprised to have found this. And it's a good song too, from Huey Lewis and the News, Jacob's Ladder. A song that was written by Bruce Hornsby. And if you've ever seen Bruce Hornsby and his band perform Jacob's Ladder, it is totally different than this version. This is more like the pop version. And well, let's just say Hornsby's arrangement of the song is very, very different. And there's the label there. Really cool song. Always loved Jacob's Ladder. It has the live version of Heart of Rock and Roll on the B-side. But I got it for Jacob's Ladder. I'm not really that big of a fan of the song Heart of Rock and Roll. It's okay. I've not listened to the live version yet on the other side. But I love Jacob's Ladder. I think I've spun this twice just to hear that song. I always thought that was a good song. God, I Miss the Sky song. It's John Cougar Mellencamp. He's still alive, of course, but I was a big fan of him during the 80s. I thought he put out some great music during the 80s. And I love those 80s albums from Mellencamp. This is the Authority song. I don't remember ever seeing this on a 45. A really good looking picture sleeve, in great shape. There's the label. And it has on the B-side, there's the label. On the B-side, we have an acoustic version of Pink Houses, which is actually really good. I like it. Just Mellencamp singing it on acoustic guitar. Sounds great. So really, really good 45 find here. So really glad I scored that. This one's cool. From Van Halen, Love Walks In, during the Van Hagar era. I've seen this in a 12-inch single. And I've seen this 45 before, but this one was in really good shape. When I usually see this on a 45, they're usually pretty beat up. This one's in great shape. The record sounds good. On the B-side, we have the song Love Walks In. And both songs are from the album 5150. The first one Hagar did with Van Halen. I heard all the Sammy Hagar era albums with Van Halen are going to be remastered and released on CD and vinyl, blah blah blah, next year, and which poses the question: do I rebuy all my Van Hagar albums, or do I'm definitely going to get 5150 because I would love to hear that remastered. For the rest of them, I probably will end up buying them, even though I'll protest it because I already got them and they sound good. And I'm running out of room on the shelf where I put all the Van Halen records on. I'm like, now I got to make room for more. And I'm like, oh, for Christ's sakes, it never ends. It never ends, folks. All right, from the Art of Noise, Close to the Edit. One of my, I don't really know what you call this, synth pop, experimental synth pop. I don't know what the hell you would call the Art of Noise. Their style of music, I mean. But I had always loved this song, Close to the Edit. I have the album too. Sounds great. It's on the Island label. Really dig that album. I've always been a fan of Art of Noise. Got a little too commercial when Tom Jones is singing on their records. They did Kiss. I never liked Kiss. I didn't even like Prince's version, even though he's the one that wrote the song. But great song. When they did Peter Gunn, I thought that was the best cover they ever did, Art of Noise. But great song. Great song. Duet here between Bryan Adams and Tina Turner, It's Only Love. This is from Bryan Adams' Reckless album. Pretty cool song. It was catchy. I wouldn't say it's an awesome song, but it was a catchy song. It was good. I like it. My favorite album from Bryan Adams was Reckless. Still think that's the best album he ever did. So, really nice to have this 45 from it. Got quite a few 45s from that album, so this was a nice addition. And the Information Society, What's on Your Mind, Pure Energy. Now that's 80s right there for you. That's really 80s. I had this on a 12-inch single, but it only had the remix only. The extended dance mix, whatever. I didn't really like it that much. It's okay, because I like the song. It's on Tommy Boy. This 45 has the album version only. I think there is a remix version on the B side, which I didn't bother listening to. So as long as it had the album version on the A side, that's really what I wanted to hear. Because that's what I was a big fan of, the album version of the song. The remix just tries too hard, I think. So definitely one of my favorite 80s songs. And I'm glad I got the 45 to go with it. Alright, Steve Winwood, Higher Love. Who didn't like this song in the 80s? Oh, Steve Winwood, this is one of his best songs right here. Higher Love. Shaka Khan singing backup vocals on it. Really, really cool. And the 45's in great shape on the Island label, so there you are. Picture sleeve's in good shape too, so I thought, I like that song, what the hell? I mean, 45's only cost $1. You're not spending a lot, so good investment. Alright, Earth, Wind & Fire, Magnetic. The album this was from, which was called Electric Universe. In fact, there's a album cover for Electric Universe on the back there. It wasn't the Earth, Wind & Fire I loved in the 70s. Now you were getting into drum machines and keyboard bass lines that are programmed. There's no horn section. The Phoenix horns are on it, and it's just modern R&B from the 80s, which was a lot of, like I said, drum machines and way too much synthesizer, and everything was programmed and nothing was really played by people. Just one guy programming everything. Maybe a guitar solo, maybe a sax solo, but that was about it. It wasn't the Earth, Wind & Fire of old. That's why I didn't like the album all that much. But I have to admit, this was a cool song. I do like Magnetic. Magnetic was a good song. The whole album, I can't say was good. I mean, it's on the Columbia label. There we go. And on the B side, we have the song Speed of Love. So, like I said, not their best album, but the song is pretty good. So Magnetic, Earth, Wind & Fire. We're almost done here. Another Mellencamp song, Rumble Seat. I never knew it was a single. I never knew it had a 45. So I was looking to find the picture sleeve to it. On the B side is a song called Sweat from Scarecrow, the album, which is my favorite John Cougar Mellencamp record. I have to do 2 different pressings of that album on vinyl. And there's the label. A really good song from Scarecrow, Rumble Seat. Always love the sound of it, love the energy of it. It's catchy, it's fun, I like it. Alright, 2 from Missing Persons. The first one is Windows, from the album Spring Session M, which is my favorite album from Missing Persons. The other ones after that just didn't quite have the magic this album had. Windows is a good song. I like Windows. And this is a promo copy, and it's on the Capitol label. So same song on both sides. And yeah, it was a good find. Something rare, didn't cost a lot, so what the hell, right? There we go. And same thing with Missing Persons song Destination Unknown. I was surprised. I thought I had this on a 45 already. I was really shocked to see I didn't. So naturally I went ahead and got it. So Destination, it's on the Capitol label. I'm trying to see what the B-side is. Oh, No Way Out is the B-side. Another good song from Spring Session M. Now, I gotta claim this record. I mean, I did clean it once and I got dirty again, so I don't know how that happened, but gotta give it a second once over. It never ends. Alright, so there we go. From Berlin, I had the 12-inch single, so why not just go ahead and get the little guy for You Don't Know. Can you tell I like this song? So that was a good find there. On the B-side, there's a song called Trash. And it's on the Geffen label. We all know what the Geffen label looks like. Alright, this is really 80s. From Human League, the song Fascination. This was one of my favorite music videos when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I don't know why. It's not that great of a video, but for some reason as a kid, I always loved watching it, and I love the song. I still love the song. It's a great song. I can't remember what label this is on. It's just on the A&M. Nothing fabulous there, but really good song. Really good 80s song. So really glad that one's in the collection. From Mr. Bruce Springsteen, I'm on Fire. This was one of my favorite songs of his, period. I always like this song, even though it's so short and over with really fast. Maybe that's why I like it. Really good song, so I was glad to have the picture sleeve. They went with the 45. It's on Columbia, which I've been showing a lot on here lately. I guess I got a lot of Columbia labeled records, but really great song from Springsteen. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. From the movie Beverly Hills Cop, the Axel F theme by Harold Faltermeyer. I almost forgot his name. Harold Faltermeyer. It's one of those typical cheesy 80s songs. Different label, MCA. It is a typical 80s keyboard song, cheesy kind of sound, but I dig it. It's catchy. And I remember seeing this movie in the theater to show you how old my ass is. My brother took me to see it, and we laughed our asses off in the theater watching this. So nice. And I remember I fell in love with the song, the Axel F theme, while sitting in the movie theater. So there. One of my favorite 80s songs, period, comes from Don Henley, The Boys of Summer. And again, surprised I didn't have the 45. I thought I had it already. I didn't, so I went and got it. $1, why not? And the B-side we have A Month of Sundays. And there it is, Boys of Summer. It's such a great song. Great 80s song. I think I posted a video having my top 10 80s songs. This is definitely was on there. I don't remember what number it was. It was probably like 5 or 6 or 7 because I really do love this song. It's a great song. Here's my favorite Joe Jackson song. You can't get what you want till you know what you want. That's why I'm not a singer. I love this song. There's a live version on YouTube he did in the late 80s in Japan. It's a video on YouTube, live version of the song. Smokes, I love it. And great song from Joe Jackson. Great song. Love that. Same label, A&M. We've all seen it. All right, this is the last one from Mr. Big. Remember Mr. Big? No, not a lot of people do. For the song Just Take My Heart. As you can see, this was originally a jukebox record. But I don't see, this will make my second Mr. Big 45, and you don't come across them very often. I wish it had a picture sleeve, but it doesn't. It's on the Atlantic label. On the B-side is the song Road to Ruin, which was from their second album, Lean Into It, which is a good album. And so real glad I have this one. Really love this album. I mean, this song. All right, that's going to do it. That is all my finds from a few days ago. Leave me some comments, because talking to you guys and exchanging words with all of you is like one of the best things about posting videos, is to hear what everyone has to say about the songs and music and vinyl. It's been really great being a vinyl collector the last month or so. I found some good records in the last month and really have been enjoying my collection a lot more lately. So it's fun being a vinyl collector, folks. All right, that's going to do it. See you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.